Welcome, folks, and welcome to another edition of Premier League Preview. And of course, is the running because the top five is the new trophy in England. It looks like this weekend, Liverpool are going to win the title against Spurs. If they avoid loss at Anfield, that means they'll be crowned champion after Arsenal drew against Crystal Palace. That means Slot will be winning his first ever title as the coach of Liverpool. Good one for them. They've extended the contract of Mo Salah, and of course Van Dijk is in the pipeline. Don't forget, this is proudly brought to you by GigaWin. Just go to www.gigawin and place your bet. We have 3 games for you. It's all about the top 5 chase on this episode of Premier League Preview. Remember, there's FA Cup, so we have Nottingham Forest against Man City in the semi-final at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. So we'll not be previewing them in the Premier League. But the teams that are still chasing that one will be Chelsea and, of course, Newcastle playing this weekend in the league. We have Aston Villa as well. It's playing on Sunday, talking about the FA Cup, so they will not be partaking in our Premier League preview. But Chelsea against Everton, a big win for Chelsea in the derby against Fulham, back to winning ways and on a statement win away from home. Remember, Fulham defeated them in the first leg, and looks like Chelsea are on that road. For Everton, not good for them. They've not won in over 10 games. The last time they won away from home against Nottingham Forest, since then they've not been good with form. They might have done a good job, but they have been a bad run of form for Everton. For Chelsea, they need to win, to continue to win, pile up the pressure on the teams in the top 4, in the top 5, so that they can break into the top 5. And for Everton, they've not won at the Stamford Bridge since 1994. So that's the good news for Chelsea based on stats. But you know what happened to Chelsea from December? They've been nosediving. They've been looking for oil. So let's see what will happen against Everton. Newcastle against Ipswich, 5th against 18th. For Ipswich, they need to win all their games for them to avoid relegation. But West Ham have to lose all their games. I don't think that one is possible. For Newcastle, they need to return to winning ways. They were shocked by a 4-0 victory at the Villa Park against Aston Villa. Nobody saw that coming, and they need to return to winning ways if they want to keep up with the top 5 chase and return to the Champions League. Remember, the manager Eddie was absent for 2 games due to illness, but is back, and it will be in the St. James's Park touchline against Ipswich. So they just have to return and put pressure on the guys playing FA Cup semi-final, because when they return, they see that they have game in hand, but of course they have to keep up by winning that game in hand. And lastly, let's just touch on the league champions of League, talking about Liverpool, first against 16. They're playing against Spurs, a big game in the Premier League. Leicester already relegated, Southampton relegated. Ipswich needs to win all their games for others to lose, for them to avoid relegation. And of course, we have a farewell, goodbye message from Jimmy Vardy. Left Leicester City after 13 years. So that means, with the relegation with Van Nistelrooy, it looks like they are doing their restructuring already, looking to return back to the Premier League next season. But of course, they are relegated. For Liverpool, they need to avoid defeat against Spurs at home against Anfield. And what a better way to win the title in front of your fans who have been with you all through the season, against the Spurs, who are already, psychologically they've switched off from the Premier League because they're looking for the Europa League, and they're playing against Bodo Glimt, who are in good form in the Europa League. So big one for Tottenham. They've lost 18 games this season already, and for Liverpool, they just have to avoid defeat and be crowned champions of England once again. So good news for Liverpool fans. They can actually start waving their flag this weekend. For Tottenham, 18 losses already this time. Postecoglou looked like a manager that could leave at the end of the season, but he can get a lifeline, return back to the Champions League if they find a way to win the Europa League. But they have obstacles, Bodo Glimt, and on the other side, they have Man United or Atletico Bilbao. That's all we can give you on our Premier League preview. Lots to dissect from the FA Cup. Unfortunately, we can't really talk about the FA Cup, but of course, let's look at the possibility of the top 5. Chelsea play against Everton, Newcastle against Ipswich, and the guys in the FA Cup, talking about Newcastle, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, and of course, Man City. Don't forget to follow us across our similar platform, Wrestling Forward, Puja Media, where we drop all the news from your own front, all the news on the Super Eagles, of course, all the news on other sports on Puja Media. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Puja Dissects, where we drop all the exclusive for you guys. And like I said, a show is coming on board, and it's for the fans, by the fans, and fans will win money every week. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel, Puja Dissects. Like you guys know, my name is Sulaiman Adebayo of what fans call me Puja. Like I always say, the hard risks, the higher the expected return. May our ticket be green. Bye for now.